We are going to try a sitting position, and it's hero pose, but we're going to sit up on some blocks. And I want to see if this works for you, Judd, as an alternative to the chair. And we'll just try it on and see how this works. So what we're going to do is get a blanket and pad it for your knees. And we're going to use 2 blocks. So we have flat block and block like so, right? And we're going to place them down behind us. And so we're going to go into a kneeling position, right? Not everybody's favorite, but it's pretty high, right? Like, look at how high we sit when we sit on that block.
All right.
So just give it a whirl. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
All right.
It looks, yeah.
Often my issue is that I can get down there, but I can't get back up.
Yep. Yep. So we'll
Sideways.
yeah, we'll practice. We'll be getting up at some point. Yeah. So, but I just want to see if we can.
Okay, and again, it's the flat one and then up.
Yeah. Just like this, flat one, and then a guy that's resting on it. Yep. And bring that behind you and set the sit bones down. What do you think, Laurel?
I think it's okay. I
Yeah?
was afraid to get my big butt on it.
Yeah.
It seems to be
The sit bones, right? If you can kind of get it pretty dialed,
flopping over the edges.
right?
Yeah, that seems to work.
Cool. Well, this is great because we've been talking a bunch lately in class about how the sacrum and the pelvis come together. And, I'm always trying to get us to tilt the pelvis forward, right? So that we can have the sacrum settle in to the pelvis. But this is even a little bit better. We're not really tilting the pelvis forward, but we're placing it in this position where it can receive the sacrum. And so we can get pretty tall here. The next piece, and I know you're not going to be able to see this, but you can see it with me, is the alignment of the sides of the hips, the shoulders, and then the occiput, the little knobs on either side of the back of the skull, right where the neck enters. And so this is what we're looking for, this straight alignment. And so reach the back of your head back a little bit, shoulders back just a bit. And that should bring the spine into about as much integrity as you can possibly get it in without laying down. So, having an option for something like this for your seated pose is kind of what we're trying to highlight.
Good.
Yeah. So stack it all up. And then just begin taking your deep breaths. And just shake out the hands. Yeah, flip them over, give another little shake. Just flick the fingers. Run your hands down the back of your head. Just brushing off the back of the neck and the shoulders. brush off the top, chest, side bodies, wipe the back of the kidneys, right, all the way down. Just get the legs. Oh. And we're going to just land. I'm going to ring our little chime to start us off. And we're going to just sit here and land in our space and in our bodies in this new form for about a minute or so. I'll take a nice deep inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Let's bring the hands up. Just feel what we can feel. Palms open. It's like we're receiving any radio stations out there that want to broadcast. Bring the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Just observe the breath moving up this nice straight channel, up the back of the spine, and descending down the front channel of the body. Just trying to feel the air, the temperature. Next exhale, slowly bring the left hand to float down. We'll turn our palms away from us. Just imagine little beams of light shooting out of your palms. And it's just, you're connecting with other beams of light. With everybody that's in this space and participating with this practice. That we're linking up and syncing with each other in the space around us. We'll slowly bring the left hand up, turn it towards this half prayer position at the heart. Our index finger and thumb with the right hand, we'll slowly just pull a string line down, hovering around the dantian. Just visualize that connection between heaven and earth. It is really our primary function. Connecting heaven and earth. Just activating the bridge between the two and experiencing what that has to offer. These last few breaths, we will lengthen the exhale. Pull the belly button in, really empty the air. And release the hands. Nice. All right, let's see how we can get out of this seat in a efficient manner. And I'm going to suggest that we just come onto our fingertips. There we go. Yeah, just come off and come down onto the fingertips. All right. I'm just going to shift to the side. You don't need to. So here we are in our cat-cow position. And for just a second, just flatten your hands down into the mat. There you go. All right. And very slowly just lift a heel. Lift one of your heels and just tuck the toes under. Sometimes that's a very tight spot after being in hero pose. And push those toes down into the mat, like you're trying to stretch the foot, like you're trying to claw the mat. And the same thing with the other foot. Lift up the heel and just get those toes under you. Nice. And we're just going to rock forward just a little bit, really activating and stretching the forearms, and then rock back. Coming off the weight of your hands, just pushing back just a little bit, rocking forward again, and back. Let's grab those blocks. Just come back onto your knees and sit back. And grab a hold of the blocks. Okay. And we're going to use the blocks to help us bring that 1 foot under, right? Just bring that 1 foot under and slowly, even if you have to help it along, wiggle it up. All right, and we can walk the blocks forward and begin to lift that back knee and walk forward. Here we are in our forward fold. Okay. Coming up onto your fingertips. And actually, if you're all the way up, you just take your hands to your thighs. There we go. Nice. Reach the shoulders back, the chest forward. Coming into a cow shape back. Straightening the legs as we come into an L shape. Take a look at your feet. Get them nice and parallel. Nice. And now bend the knees. Shift the shoulders into the back plane. There you go. Lift the head. And we'll straighten all the way up. There we are. And just shake it out. There we go. Kick out the legs. We're going to hang out in mountain pose just to activate the whole system. And we're going to look at the outer edges of the feet. And we're going to make them parallel, which actually looks a little bit like ducking the feet in. If you look at the outer edges of the feet, kind of an unusual place to stand. There we go. Drawing the feet right under the hips. And for guys, under the shoulders. Lift on the kneecaps and straighten the legs. Squeeze the buttocks. Gently allow the shoulders to retreat back. And these lower ribs that are popping out to sink down. Squeeze the fingers together, the arms towards the sides. Lift on those kneecaps, push down through the feet. Right, kind of strength in stillness. Your next exhale, relax. Begin to sink from the hips down. The knees bend. The chest broadens. And we form our beach ball shape with our hands. What is it like to feel rounded in the joints? Just think about that. The wrists, the elbows, just feeling rounded and soft. Relax the muscles in your face. Tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. Your lips and your teeth part just a little bit. Breathing into the belly. Emptiness pose. And just notice, where are you leaning? You can reach back, feel your heels, tilt forward, push the ball of your big toe down into the mat. Feel your belly breath. Open the arms out to the sides. Inhale up. Exhale. As you inhale, press down on the gas pedal of the foot. it's going to keep us plugged into the ground while we're bringing energy up at the same time. We'll change direction. Inhale up. Exhale. Tune into your 10 toes. One more like this. Down to our big beach ball again. And inhale, the beach ball expands just a few inches and contracts. Imagine the movement of the arms is coming from the belly. The belly itself is pushing the bubble open and closed. And one more. Draw the hands to the belly. Guys with the right hand first. Ladies with the left hand first. And relax your eyes. Feel your belly fill the hands. Step out and just shake it off. We're going to play a little bit with something that I don't know if we've ever done in this class before, which is meditative walking. And since we're all in like pretty smaller spaces, and I'm going to stay in front of the camera, we're not going to walk too far, but that's great. Laurel's at the back of her mat, and you can just like back up a little bit, just give yourself a little bit of space to maybe walk a couple steps forward, and they're going to be pretty small steps. But we're going to be playing a lot with how we initiate movement through our balance and our hips. It's very simple stuff that's kind of the core of how we make our way through the world. And so we'll begin by just placing the hands down on our, like the swimming pool hands. They're just nice and relaxed. And you're almost giving yourself a little balance here with your hands. And actually, this is great, I forgot all about this. There's a standing pose that's actually for balance. And all we're going to do is bring our hands out to the sides, still in our swimming pool, but now we have little floating red balls under the hands. And as we breathe, this is a standing meditation, we're going to imagine that we're pushing those red balls down into the water And the buoyancy of the balls is pushing into our hands. Bend the knees. And just engage with balance. Feeling the buoyancy of those red balls. Using just a little muscle energy to push them down. Feeling the balls push up into the hands. Couple more breaths here. And relax the hands down to the sides. Back to where we started. Hands just nice and relaxed. What we're going to do is we're going to shift our weight over to the right. I'll mirror you here. And we're going to lift the heel of the left foot. So obviously we have most of our weight here on the standing leg. This foot is just a prop, a kickstand. For the purpose of the walking meditation, this is called post, right? I'm posting the light leg. So we should feel pretty comfortable here, right? We've got our weight on one side. Our post is just like a support. And all we're going to do is now plant our heel at a little bit of an angle, taking not a huge step, just a little step. And we're going to just lean forward. As we drop the foot down, we're going to kind of straighten it forward, right? So we've started with like this 45-degree angle, like we're taking the step. But then as we place the foot down, it's nice and straight. There we are, perfect. And then we shift our weight forward. We lift our back heel. And then we post. And that move from post. There it is. Take a breath. The posted foot comes out. We slowly drop it down, and we're just going to shift our weight forward. We're going to lift that back heel and just pause. Breathe. See if you can really harness that full weight on your front leg as you just lift the back and post. Yes. And now we're going to do the reverse. Our posted leg is just going to reach back just a little bit. And then we're going to shift our weight back. Front toes lift. And the heel gets lighter and lighter and lighter until we post. Posted leg reaches back again, just a little bit back, right? And we slide back, front toes come up. And when ready, post. Relax. So we're breaking walking down to the very simplest, slowest possible way. This is something that, we kind of take for granted. We've been doing it our whole lives. But by doing these slow shifting, we need a little air in here, huh? How you feeling, Laurel? Warm enough?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're gonna get a little circulation going. Yeah, something about the walking builds up a little heat. Maybe it's just focusing.
I think it's the brain that breaks up.
The brain, yeah, the overheating
The
brain. Right? So I'm gonna, just so you can see my feet, I'm gonna bring these guys up a little bit. And this walking meditation, we're just at the very beginning of the walking meditation. It can feel so good and so grounding when we're really just focused and being totally present in shifting our body weight. So let's revisit. Let's do that whole routine again. Now that our body knows a little bit more about the sequence. The idea too is that we're doing a lot of like sliding the heels and the hips. We're moving, we're not kind of bouncing up and down. We're just making this graceful shift to post, to step, to slide, to post. And I like to imagine that you're trying to sneak up on someone. That's the mentality that we're looking for. Like very quiet, sliding forward. All right, let's do that again. Let's get our weight on our right foot and post. Good thing about the post is a nice stretch for the toes too. You can enjoy that nice little toe stretch. Breathe. And we're building chi through this whole exercise. Our step. And then just sliding, placing that foot down, sliding, sliding, sliding forward, lifting the back heel, pause, breathe. And here's your balance as you slowly bring that post up. Nice. Take a breath. Next step. All right, we kind of start off at a little bit of an angle. Right, and then as we place the foot down, forward. Here we go, right? This is good. Sliding forward onto that leg, lifting the back heel. Right, and here's we're kind of on a balance beam where we lift our leg and post. Nice. Take a breath. Our posted leg reaches back just a little bit. And we just lean back, just sliding back. Front toes come up. Post. Reach back. Shift the weight. Lift the toes. And make sure you're nice and ready to post. There it is. Relax the hands down. Bring your feet down to the mat. Hands to the belly. Release. Shake it out. Now we're going to just do that whole routine the third time. And this time we're going to just kind of let the body do its thing, right? It's a post, a step, post, step, and then backwards. And we won't go super slow, right? So shifting the weight onto the right side, post. back. Back. Right. Shake it out. Something different. And if you get into this practice, go outside in the grass, spend some time with the walking. Eventually, you get into a very meditative state with it and moving through the air very slowly like that. It gets pretty trippy. Okay, let's widen our stance. Let's feel a little movement now laterally. And we'll do that. Actually, this kind of feels good. This is our warm-up. Yeah, let's just shift the weight over, shift the weight. Kind of like our little spinning constant bear. And lift a heel. Lift the heel. There you go. Let the arms swing. And let them come down. Nice. Okay, widen the feet out just a little bit. We're going to do our serving tea, our teacups. So it really doesn't matter which side you start with. One hand goes down by the low dantian, the other hand palm up behind the back. Sink down. Right. And now our front hand reaches to serve. So reaching, there we go. And the back hand can kind of come away from the back a little bit. And it's almost like a balance hand. It can kind of stick out too, the other direction, towards me. There we go. And then come back down. Sink and switch. Reach. There we go. And sink and switch. Reach. Moving at your own pace. Really enjoy the switching, the sinking and switching, and then release. Come back down and switch, and we'll serve tea one more time. Back to center. Bring both hands out in front of you. You can just cradle the hands together right by the low dantian. Straighten the legs up. And toe heel the feet under you. There you go. Just let all that movement within land. Relax the hands down to the sides. And we're going to do a little pushing of heaven and earth. Inhaling the hands up to the chest. One hand flips up, the other hand flips down. Sink down and push. And just pause there for a moment, feeling that kind of full extension There we go. Come back to the chest. Switching hands. Just pause. Really pushing down towards earth and up towards heaven at the same time. And back to the chest to switch. Back to the chest. One more. Push. And back to the chest. And exhale down. Widen the legs. Widen our stance. Rainbow dance. Always a fun one. Opening the feet just a little bit. And we're basically back to our serving tea. But this time we're holding a rainbow. Holding a big arc. Just for a moment, visualize the rainbow. Breathe into that prismatic color scheme. Imagine that the rainbow is beaming its color frequencies down onto you. And then we're going to dip the rainbow. And we just dip over to the side, right? And the opposite knee bends. And we can look down towards the side we're dipping. There you go. And then just slowly bring the whole arrangement back up again. Dip. Bend your other knee, Laurel. Your other knee. There you go. Yep. There it is. It's counterintuitive, right? To bend down to that straight leg. Come on up. And maybe you'll get a nice little stretch in your hamstring. And up. Couple more. Come on up. Relax the hands down. Step the feet together. Shake it off. All right. Let's do one more in the sequence on our feet. And it's part of the female deer, but we're not going to mess with the whole antlers and whatnot. We're just going to play with kind of the critical point of the female deer, which is coming into, I guess this would be a warrior two pose. This is also a side angle pose. Any pose where our front knee is bent, back leg is straight. All right. Our heels are roughly on the same plane. The back foot is curved in towards the front. And we're going to really take a hold of the hips here. And we're gonna turn the hips so we're straight on with our front knee. And let's shorten our stance just a little bit. There we go. Sorry, I keep adjusting this. Recording this for Henry and whoever else would like to watch. All right? So the right hip is driving the back leg and the torso to align with our front bent knee. All right? And now this hip is gonna open back just a little bit. We're gonna straighten the front leg and bend the back knee. All right, could have thought this out a little bit better. Shorten your stance even more. Yeah, female deer doesn't take such a big step. But what we're doing is the female deer reach, right? So it's the left hand straightening out with the left leg. There you go. And we shift that back right hip back. Bring the hands to the hips. Back to where we started. There we go. Bend the front knee. So, reach. Breathe. Feel that stretch in your back hip. Come on up. Hands to hips. Bend that front knee. Nice and strong. One more time. Back. Reach. Down. Shifting that weight back. Bending that back knee. Nice. Reaching down to pick something up off the ground. And come on up. Back to center. Switch legs. It takes some energy. We're used to just bending over and letting the back go whenever we pick up something off the ground. We're gonna just practice this, right? So feet are pretty close. Not a big stance. Bend the front knee. Pull that left hip forward. There you go. Nice and strong. And then we bend the back knee, straighten the front leg. We shift the hips back, almost like we're swan diving, reaching with the right hand, just towards the leg. It could just come to your shin. It could just hover in the air. Breathe. Shift those hips back. Shift those hips back. Bend that back knee. Inhale, come up. Hands to the hips. And we're just going to do that move a few more times. Shifting back, reaching, breathing, and then coming up. Again. All right, that back leg really supporting us. And up. One more time. And up again. And here we are. Shake it out. Give yourself a little roundabout here. A little hula hoop. The other direction. Shake. Brush the head. Brush the shoulders. Let's wake up the bones before we get down on the mat. All right, we've been playing a lot with our balance today. And let's just initiate a little balance by just lifting the hips. Lifting the hips and the heels. And then just softly. There we go. And just up. Really? If our balance is nice and aligned, we can come down on the heels pretty hard. There we go, nice. Get that good thump. Maybe we hold our breath a little bit. One more. Legs down. We're done on our feet. Yeah, maybe a little twisting just to stir up the chi. All right, that was a lot of on our feet today. And getting down to the very core basic movements, the kind of like the initiatory movements, how we operate this machine called the body. All right, we're gonna make our way down to the mat. Yeah, and we're going to be doing a little bit more with our pelvis. Nice. Oh, coming all the way down to our back. Why don't we just straighten our legs out for a moment? And just allow yourself to let go of the weight of your body. Big long exhale, giving up the weight. Nice. All right, let's bend one knee. Bringing foot to the mat, bend the other knee. Let's walk the feet to the wide edges of the mat. Good old windshield wipers. Let's first, though, get those shoulder blades behind you. Lift the chest one side at a time. Tuck the shoulders back there. Palms down. Nice and solid in the upper torso. The shoulders, the head. And then we'll inhale and drop the knees to the right. Our gaze travels to the left ear moving towards the mat. Inhale everything up. Exhale the knees to the left. The gaze moves to the right. Inhaling up. Knees to the right. Gaze to the left. And with your breath, switching it up one more time. Up and over. Knees to the left, head to the right. And up to center. Let's walk the feet to more like hip width distance apart. We'll scoot our heels back towards the buttocks just a little bit. We're going to start the sequence off with just a little bit of bridge pose, right? So feel your feet get nice and parallel. Fire up some muscle energy in your shoulders and your arms, the back of your head, and the bottoms of your feet. as our knees move away from us, over the toes, the hips lift off the ground any amount. Come on up. Big breath. Exhale back down. Two more times. Inhale, up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. All right. Now this time, we're just going to lift one side of the hip, right? This is our little triangular pelvis lift. It just helps to imagine the pelvis as a triangle, right? Our hip bones are the two top pieces, and our tailbone is the bottom piece of the triangle, the bottom point. So all we're going to do is just move the right leg away from us, and that's going to lift the right hip off the ground by just an inch or so. And then we place the hip back down, pause in neutral, left knee moves away from us, left hip lifts, and we place it back down again. And just continue like that. It's almost like we're doing half bridge. Just lifting the hip, placing it back down again. Lift the hip. And right, our primary motion is the knee moving away. But our abdominal muscles, our core, is also initiating the movement. All right, so we're getting these little micro core movements. It's how we initiate every step we take. We're just tuning and fine-tuning this movement. The hip lifts. We roll onto the other 2 points of the triangle. Just a few more. Come back to the ground. Any props you need for Shavasana, you can go ahead and grab a hold of. Straightening out the legs. Wiggling the fingers and toes, releasing the jaw. Let go of the doing. Release the mental rope. Deepening the breath. Begin to make that transition to our side and fetal posture. Just taking a few breaths here. Taking the time you need to begin that last shift towards a seated position. And if you like, you can bring your hands together at the heart. Namaste.
Namaste.